Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to end the video. There's another paid request, this time for Gia, who wanted me to talk about another episode of the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon. And in this instance, it is about Tales of Master Yoshi. Wanted to get the title right. Now, I've said countless times how much I'm a fan of the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon, so I won't go into that. I'd just be repeating the same thing. This is an episode I was always meh on because, as superficial as it sounds, when I watch the Ninja Turtles, I want to see the Ninja Turtles. You know, I want to see them, what they're doing, they're fighting, the comedy, the action, the fights, all that stuff. This is a very much of a back seat because the gist of the plot is the power goes out, Donnie did something, Mikey doesn't know what they can do because he can't play video games or watch TV, and Splinter comes in with candles going, hey, let's tell stories. At this point, Leonardo, little backdrop, what had happened, the Turtles had a fight with the Shredder. At one point, Leonardo got stabbed in the shoulder by this lady named Karai, Shredder's daughter. They survived thanks to these creatures called the Utroms, but Leonardo still pissed at himself because we could have died, we should have died. Not we should have, but we could have died, but we didn't save ourselves. They saved us. He goes on a bit of a funk. At one point, he even accidentally attacked Splinter, and then he gets on this journey to the Ancient One to be taught and overcome that bit of grief. So he's come back from that by this point. And so this is about season 4, this episode. And so he's like, I'm going to tell you a story that the Ancient One told me about Sensei's master, Master Yoshi. And then most of it is just the backstory of Master Yoshi. Now, Gia asked me, would this work as a film? I mean, I guess, but at the same time, they've done that many times. Like, the gist, not specifically Master Yoshi, but the gist of it you've seen multiple times of he is on the streets with his friend. The Ancient One comes up and says, snatch this from my hand. Yoshi does it, and he's like, whoa, you're fast. Takes both of them in, trains them. The two kids, Yoshi and the other guy, they're friends. But there's a girl named Tane Shin. They're both in love with the same girl. And you know where this is going. Meanwhile, there's this ninja, the Foot Clan, beating up this guy. It takes place in Tokyo in the 1960s. They save the guy, but the other guy is one of those Utroms. Little alien, but in a robot human body as a disguise. Hey, you guys are good, come join us in this fight against the Shredder. This figure that terrorizes us. So Master Yoshi and the other guy become these guardians. But the other guy, he's in love with Tane Shin, but Tane Shin loves Yoshi. He's mad about that. I thought it went a bit quick though, and that's because there's a 20-minute running time, and you have the setup at the beginning, you have the setup at the end with the turtles, the wraparound. So I thought it really jumped, I almost said jumped to conclusions, that he's in love with the girl, but at the same time, he kills her. I thought, okay, that was a bit of a jump to, I'm in love with her, you're with Yoshi, and I'm going to kill you. There's no in between. There's no build up of, you should love me, I'm going to give you a choice, no, you don't run away with me. There's none of that. I guess just to go along quickly, but it's like, okay, that's a big jump. And that's falters, the story falters because of that. On the flip side, this is a show that, again, people can die. And obviously, it's not blood and guts that you show, but pretty much you hear a scream, Ancient One finds her, you see her hand on the ground. You know, they do as much as they can, as it is still a kid's show. But there's still a bit of, people can still die. There's still a sense of danger on the show, which is one of the things I appreciate, because by that point, I had not seen, since the 1990 movie, where technically that Shredder technically died, although not until the next one. But, you know, Raphael put into a coma. Yeah, if you read the comic books, you know all about that. But if you just saw the movies, the cartoons, you know about that. And even by this point, I was just getting into the comics and seeing how they were a bit more serious in that. It's funny, someone asked me, well, why do you like the Ninja Turtles? I don't understand. It's just a kid's thing. I like four personalities that could be unique and you could really create. If you read other people who write stories about them that make it more three-dimensional, that make it more serious, and each one has their own, like the comic books, which the 2003 adapt them to a point. There's a bit of Raphael almost kills his baby brother because there's anger issues. And I could see the potential. I could see the fun, quirky aspect of action, martial arts, fight scenes, but there's these creatures. So as a kid, oh, that's cool and it's different, and they kick ass. But at the same time, I can see the potential a lot of these characters have. And even this series, even as a kid show, the fact that people can die, even in this flashback, just like the backstory in the 1990 movie, where Splinter tells his tale of what happened to his master and Tang Shen. You know, there's a bit of seriousness to it. There's a bit of stakes involved, even to a little bit. At least there's something. So Yoshi's buddies working with the Shredder, blah blah blah. Yoshi finds Tang Shen dead, wants revenge, and one aspect that I thought was cool and done on purpose is he's wearing the Game of Death outfit. The yellow jumpsuit that Bruce Lee wore in Game of Death, that's what Yoshi's wearing. I thought that was a great touch to Bruce Lee. And he fights it. They didn't do all out. I understand it. Maybe they thought it'd be too campy. You know, if they went too overboard. But there is a reference. He grabs the two guys and he throws them around. I think that's a reference to, I want to say, the Chinese Connection, where Bruce Lee grabbed two and he went around. The two are flying. It's brief, but I believe that's a reference to that as well. But I guess they didn't want to go overboard with Bruce Lee references, so I can understand that. There's a comic book in Ninja Turtles where they meet someone that is pretty much Bruce Lee. They don't call him Bruce Lee, but it is pretty much Bruce Lee. It's one of those early comic books. I forget what the issue was called, but it's very early on in the Mirage comic books of the Ninja Turtles. Something the Dragon or something. And it's like their ode to Bruce Lee. So, like, I would have been fine if it was more Bruce Lee isms, but I didn't see why they didn't. I can understand. But yeah, he kicks ass and then fights his former friend. They do a duel. He gets his shirt cut, but the other guy says, "Yoshi, forgive me," and dies. Yoshi knows he needs to get the fuck out of there, jumps out, has to leave. Oh, they establish how Master Splinter, the pet rat, got into it because Tang Shen took it into her care, and then Yoshi took Splinter into his care because it's a memory of his loved one, Tang Shen. And they go off. Now, granted, that loses the effect of the original backstory where the Shredder killed Tang Shen and the Master, and because Shredder loved Tang Shen, so it feels a bit more of a personal grudge. So I can understand if that change upsets people. I can deal with it, but I can understand as well. But you know, there's been plenty of kung fu movies where you killed my master or you killed my loved one, I want revenge. That's why if this turned to a movie, it would just seem very familiar to people. It would seem very familiar. If you've seen a lot of these martial arts type of films, it would seem like old hat. So no, I don't think this would work as a film. I think, again, Ninja Turtles, a lot of their stories, just the simple aesthetic of the look of the turtles and them fighting and giving like John Wick, well, that's with guns, but the Raid Redemption type of fight scenes, like Kevin Eastman said there would be in the Michael Bay produced films, but it never happened. I think Kevin Eastman was smoking crack or something when he said that. I wish I could find that fucking interview. Dude, maybe it disappeared because the person went, "This is stupid. Yeah, goodbye." But I can't find that fucking interview. It might still be on, but Ken Eastman, just don't have fight scenes like the Raid Redemption. Yeah, and Fist of Legend. I'm like, sure. Maybe the legend in your own mind, Kevin Eastman. He was blowing that movie, and then the ironic thing, he filmed a cameo and he got cut out. So this movie that you're blowing, the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles 2014 film, they cut out your cameo anyway. So yeah, you can blow them all you want. Wonder how much afterward. But yeah, you say Secret of the Ooze sucks, but you want to blow it, whatever. Anyway, I'm going off tangent. As an episode, it was interesting to see Master Yoshi. I like the Game of Death reference. I like this bit of a serious story. It wasn't cartoony or goofy or silly. I love the characters, so it was nice to see it. But it was one of those, like, I see the episode once, I never see to see it again. So, like, if I rewatch, not if, when I rewatch the show, that's the episode I skip. Maybe I see the little bit of opening and ending of the Turtles. And at the end they mention how, it was fate. All this is still a bit of fate because if Tain Shin had not died and all this stuff happened, he would not have gone to America. If they didn't go to America, the Utrons would not have gone to America. If that didn't happen, then there wouldn't be no Ooze, and Splinter would not be there, and then the Turtles wouldn't be there. About how this fate is linked up to everything. I guess it's like, hey, we have all these episodes per season, 20-some, 25, I forget how many. Let's do something here a little bit different. Actually, I understand that. It's just, again, in retrospect, it's not an episode I rewatch a lot. Because again, I watch it for the Ninja Turtles. I want to see the Ninja Turtles. I know it's superficial, but I'm just being honest. So again, would it worked as a film, Gia? Yeah, but you've seen that film multiple times, that type of film. So it'd just be kind of in one ear out the other type of thing. A good R-rated Ninja Turtles film could work, though, on a different subject. I think it can work. Keep it simple, keep it effective, have enough of the characterization of the Turtles to make them the more unique characters, have them work together. You don't even need April, you don't even need Casey Jones, just have them simple but straightforward, kick-ass action story. I don't care if they're stuck in a goddamn building and you're ripping off the Raid Redemption and it's the Foot headquarters. I don't care if it's whatever it may be. One of them gets kidnapped, the others have to go rescue him. Whatever it may be. It could work very well. Leo gets kidnapped and then it's up to the other three. And Raph has to take, because of course I put Raph up front because he's my favorite. And he learns a bit of responsibility, but at the same time he's still a badass. And the three work together. Whatever the story could be, it can work, just they don't wanna. Go figure. But with that said, thanks once again, Gia. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.